Building things from scratch is usually easier than changing small things in a system. If we were to create a new earth, then becoming collectively aware would be the answer to most issues. When someone is a celebrity, they have their needs met through their celebrity status, the same way someone in an intentional community would do. Needs include validation, intimacy, usefulness, belonging, leading, and empowerment or autonomy. Just to name a few. The brain believes what we tell it, even though we cannot lie to our bodies. With no hormones around and during women's periods, women are highest on intuition, and the lie detector of hormones protects women from a lack of truth and picking up on lies. The reason why we are all love and why love connects us all is because purity in its essence is love. But most importantly, we cannot attune to or pick up on anything unless it comes from a state of pure perception, clarity, something that gives us meaning, and lies do not travel freely on the highway of intellectual knowledge. And truth is what creates reality, and thoughts are real. But truth is also what is in between the lines that we read in life, behind the scenes, and what we do not necessarily see firsthand. This is why time is important in perception. Time, as we know it, is a human concept, but our human brains are best capable of picking up on truth and understanding truth with regards to linearity of time. This is why our human limitedness can serve a purpose. Every community that has ever existed that involved women leverages women's intuition. An opinion may be fleeting or survive longer until it changes the person who believed it to begin with. However, time is important in perception because things make sense in context only, both in space and in time. In most cases, however, we tend to associate change with the discomfort of wanting to sustain and withhold opinions for long enough. Why is that? Understandable. A house without a good base can be destroyed easily. This is why the quality of everything around, inside, outside of, above, next to, and below us is important. Now that quantity is a tangible given, the danger of a cult is that even very successful people are herd animals. People who have great influence, a great level of power, they all know what their status is, and regardless of that, they can be influenced themselves. I have not been ostracized in social groups myself to the degree that I was given such power myself. Even though I had gone to 5 different elementary schools, not because I wanted to. The reason I am mentioning this is because I experienced some levels of ostracization due to the fact that I had been the quote-unquote new girl multiple times. And because of that, I realized how easily influenced people can get, especially by people who they consider more powerful than them. Out of a need to adapt, I developed different personality traits in every new school that I went to. Or maybe I recognized them in myself. I am not sure which one happened. I also liked being at school more all the time, even though there were times when I did not like going to school either. I liked school more because put in comparison to being at home, I felt like I was more understood in school. I felt like in school there was more a sense of a community that everyone shared. Despite this, however, I did reject the concept of community after a while, after I experienced firsthand what it had been like to be part of a community that resembles more the shadow tribe. Plus, my unique experiences pushed me towards being a performer and a superachiever. The compassion I have already shown for myself and people, the opportunities that already came my way and I actually took, and the truth I already represent are way beyond the notion of me. not being in control of things I was not consciously creating. The internet provides people a visual and auditory platform to find themselves entertained because they are so simple. People are primal. Man is primal. Still, women and men are contained in online spaces, bringing their families out of poverty thanks to the internet. Technological advancement is irreversible, and the women get to express themselves unlike ever before. The voiceless have a voice for the first time in history on a global scale. However, we will progress with a light touch when the weakest part of the system improves. And when I say with or by a light touch, I mean effortlessly. We cannot be in a perspective, looking at this perspective at the same time. We represent health when associating with it, but it doesn't mean that we are not actively working on it. The same way goes for our social systems. Just because we think we are going through hardship, that does not mean that we are already failing. This is the greatest misconception when it comes to mistakes. Mistakes are stepping stones, and they may give us the greatest opportunities to learn. Since I studied economics at one point, entrepreneurship started to increasingly interest me. I will quote Alex Hormozzi for the sake of like-minded individuals. Quote, entrepreneurship seems to be the things that look nice. All of those are outputs from business that people use for personal gain that then look attractive. But the actual doing this every day of entrepreneurship is predominantly communication. When you look at it on a real day-to-day of what that looks like, it's a lot of meetings, a lot of Zoom calls, and those don't look good on Instagram. End quote. Hear me out. Community is communication, the meetings of which are the Instagram reel. There is no need to post because everybody already knows you, and just like in a scaling business, you have at least a few trustworthy partners who keep you alive and feeling human. You are recognized, respected, and appreciated. The business of community is communication. If you are a woman, please do not pray any more than you know why you are praying. If you are a woman, also consider why you are wanted or liked. Things such as religion have been created for men by men to keep men accountable. Men can lie without their self-consciousness directly affecting their karma. Men exist in the head. Women cannot do that. And because they are good enough without externals, women also are sufficient only submitting and surrendering to their man who submits and surrenders to God. First of all, religion is a very intelligent thing. A woman can practice her faith in or outside of a romantic relationship, the same when she earns the right to sit at the table if she can afford that. The same way that a man's ego needs reassurance, comforting, and encouragement upon having sex with a woman, or even before it, a woman's body needs the same thing in the real world all the time and unconditionally. She needs reassurance, comforting, and encouragement, especially physically. This is what most men do not understand about women. Women do not need sexual intimacy. They do have periods, they do thrive on serotonin and not dopamine. Even though dopamine motivates them too. But women primarily thrive due to physical containment.